Disclaimer: the information in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All opinions shared are my own. Camp Gladiator is an outdoor group fitness program led by independently contracted personal trainers, also called franchise owners by Camp Gladiator. A franchise is the right or license granted to an individual or group to market a company's goods or services in a particular territory. Also, a business granted such a right or license. An example of this would be just opened a new fast food franchise down the street. According to the Webster Dictionary, multi-level marketing is a business structure or practice in which an individual seller earns commissions both from direct sales and from the sales of the seller's recruits, of those recruited by the seller's recruits, and so on. If the money you make is mainly based on the number of people you recruit and your sales to them, it's a pyramid scheme. What kind of inception bullshit is this? Is Camp Gladiator a franchise or a multi-level marketing company? Or both? This video will give you the information. You decide. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Leah and this is my channel where I talk about all things health, fitness, and lifestyle related. So if any of that sounds like it might be interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button below. But if you want to wait to the end of the video to see what I'm all about, that's okay too. I totally understand. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into today's topic for our video. I've been wanting to do another anti-MLM video, but I really like to wait till I get inspired to do these kind of things. And this one literally just showed up into my inbox, you know, sent from heaven on a platter for me. So I was like, okay, I have to do this. So today's video is going to be on Camp Gladiator. I'm going to let you guys decide with all of the information that I present to you today, whether or not you think it's an MLM or you think it's a franchise, which is what they like to call themselves. Just to give you a little background on myself, I am a fitness trainer. I have been doing that for many, many years, and I'm working on getting new certs and stuff all the time. I just got certified 200-hour yoga last year. So I'm constantly trying to learn new stuff to share with you all. This is something I'm very passionate about. Not just MLMs, but specifically the fitness MLMs really just like chat my ass. Like, I don't really have a better way of explaining that, but it's just very extremely irritating to me. And this one is no different in the fact that my first run-in with Camp Gladiator is I was looking about 4 years ago when I first started doing group fitness. I was looking for a legitimate job on Indeed, and Camp Gladiator came up, and the guy reached out to me and he was like, hey, I want to offer you a job, blah, blah, blah. It all seemed very legit in the beginning, right? And then I wish I tried to go back and try to find that message so I could share it with y'all, but have already previously been in an MLM. And then getting out, I feel like it's easier to spot the red flags that come up and you're like, wait a second, you mean I gotta pay to play? And I want to differentiate here because my husband did say, well, wasn't this like, dance fitness when I was a dance fitness teacher? So with dance fitness, you do have to pay. Say you get, like, I was certified with Dance 2 Fit, but say you're certified with Dance 2 Fit or Zumba or whatever, you would do their initial training, you would pay for the initial training, and then you would pay them a monthly fee or a yearly fee to use their name, to use their logo and stuff in your marketing material, to use their choreography or their routines or whatever. And you would go out, and you're basically an independent contractor, and you would go out and teach those things. But the difference is that when you do that, yeah, you have to pay them that fee to be affiliated with them and use their name because they're big names. Zumba is a big name. Like, you say Zumba, most people who don't even do Zumba know what it is, you know? So that's why. But then with Camp Gladiator, you'll see later, once we get further down the rabbit hole, that's not the only thing you have to pay for. So I don't necessarily think it's the same thing. But I want to make clear that I did kind of make that comparison as somebody who is a fitness trainer and has been certified to teach other things, that it was kind of a connection that I made and a very distinct difference that I also made. So anyway, this guy was like, oh, I want to offer you a job, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait a second. I can't remember, this was years ago. But it was enough for me to go no, I don't think so. And then my second run-in with Camp Gladiator, there was a woman, I should say, who added me on Facebook as a friend. And I saw when she added me that she was a Camp Gladiator instructor, but I also saw that she lived in San Antonio, so I was like, maybe she's a friend of a friend. I also do photography on the side sometimes, so I was thinking maybe she was referred to me, maybe she, is a friend of a friend or something like that, because we did have a mutual friend or something. And so I added her, and of course, it didn't take long before she was in my inbox, and she was like, what kind of classes do you teach? Are you interested in teaching any more classes? And at the time, I was only teaching yoga, and that's all I wanted to teach. And I, responded back and I said, no, I'm not interested in teaching any other kind of courses. I really just want to teach yoga right now. And to my surprise, she was actually pretty cool about it and was like, oh, okay, no worries, and didn't, push the issue any further, basically. And since then, I've kind of just left Camp Gladiator in its own little corner. Yeah, I'm okay, none of them have been overly pushy with me when I've said no, and it was just whatever, it is what it is. So fast forward a year, 2 years later, whatever, I get I didn't get the message in my inbox. So this girl, I'm in a Facebook group. It's called Girls Gone Strong. It is a group on Facebook. It's also a certification where you learn how to treat women pre and postnatal. So pre-pregnancy, post-pregnancy, during pregnancy, they teach you how to train, contraindications to take into account. And, basically it's a specialized course. So then they add you to a Facebook group so that you can interact and mingle with other trainers, and you can ask questions and, have a good community of trainers that you can, oh my God, what am I trying to say? That you can converse with on the topics. So anyway, this guy posted in the group and he's like, I'm having a hard time. I'm not making enough money as a trainer. Is this something that other people relate to? And blah, blah, blah. Which I can totally relate to and totally understand, because some trainers that work for the big box gyms, they don't make a lot of money, and you're more of a salesperson than you are a trainer, in my opinion, which is why I don't want to work for a gym, and I would prefer to just work for myself as a freelancer. And anyway, so I respond to the guy's post and I said hey, I think this is very relatable. I totally understand. This is actually why I created a YouTube, aside from the fact that I do genuinely think that there is an audience for this and people genuinely want to know the truth on how to lose weight and how to be healthy, and there's a lot of bullshit out there, and so I'm trying to put information out that will actually be helpful to people. But also, I am eventually hoping to monetize my channel one day. That would be fantastic. If not, I'm going to keep doing YouTube because I really enjoy it. Not just the making videos part, not just the filming videos part, but I genuinely enjoy editing, seeing the finished product. I'm a photographer also, so that kind of stuff is very fun to me, and it's gives me a little creative outlet. So I'm going to keep doing it no matter what. But anyway, I had responded to this dude and I was like, hey, this is one of the reasons that I created a YouTube, so I can hopefully bring in another income stream while I also train people on the side and, blah, 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 whatever. So then this girl comments underneath that and she's like, can I message you? And I'm assuming I'm safe in this Facebook group, yeah? I'm assuming. I'm surely this is a very reputable company. I doubt that they allow people in here to try to poach people for MLMs and direct sales companies and all this, shady business or whatever. And I told my husband, I was like, damn it. I just told this girl, sure, you can message me. Sorry, I don't like my ears poking out. I told this girl, I'm sure, you can message me. Thinking that she was going to ask me questions about YouTube. And I looked at my husband and I said, how much do you want to bet you $20 right now? She's going to message me about a fitness MLM. And I said, I bet you it's either going to be Beachbody or it's going to be Camp Gladiator. And literally seconds later, y'all, seconds later, she messages me and I told my husband, I'm like, I was right. It's Camp Gladiator. I like, really, man? Come on. So then she messaged me and I'm just going to read the message to y'all so that I don't leave anything out. And my response was nice. I woke up and chose kindness that day. She caught me on a good day. I'm nice most of the time. I'm not just going to be like a straight out of the gate a-hole to people unless they're, you know, I always tell people I match energies. So whatever energy you come at me with, that's the energy that you're going to get back. So anyway, let's read this.
A few moments later.
So she messaged me. And I'm going to put it up on the screen, but as always, I block out names and I block out all this stuff. No, I don't want to update Facebook Messenger. I want to read this message. It's going to make me update. God bless. There we go. It's opening. Okay, so she messaged me and said, "Hi, Leah. Blank here." Her name. First of all, okay, so before I get into this, I'm going to try to read completely through her message before I respond. I understand I'm very bad at that. And I like want to knee-jerk reaction respond as I'm reading stuff. Because that's how I would do it, you know, when I'm reading it. But I'll try not to. I'll try. I know that's annoying. So I'll try to fix it, okay? Okay, so she said, "Hi, Leah. Blank here. First of all, super impressed by your accolades with ACE, military, and yoga. That takes so much time and discipline, so I greatly respect it. I'm a franchise owner and trainer with Clamp. I always want to say Clamp. Jesus Christ. Camp Gladiator. And we're looking for trainers who are serious and understand the business side of impacting lives and working as a team. I see that we have this person as a mutual friend." That was the second girl that added me that I told y'all was like my second run-in with Camp Gladiator. "So you may have heard of us in the past and seen her success and growth as well. I'd love to invite you to an information session to learn more about our franchise structure." This girl had the nerve, in parentheses, "similar to Chick-fil-A. Don't compare yourself to the large chicken. Camp Gladiator is nothing like Chick-fil-A. Don't you do that. No. I can't. I know. I said I was going to wait to the end, but I can't. Our growth and team strategy and the type of person we're looking to bring on. If it's not a good fit, no harm, no foul, but would love for you to see if it's a good fit. If not for you, perhaps for a friend you may know." So I'm going to tell you guys what I think about that message, and then I'm going to tell you how I responded. Because like I said, I woke up this day and I chose kindness, and I was like, I'm going to be straightforward, but not an a-hole. I'm working on not being such an a-hole, okay? So anyway, she took the time to look on my profile to see that I was certified through ACE, that I used to be in the military, and that I am qualified to teach yoga, that I got certified to teach yoga. She looked at all of that, but didn't see I am an older person, so I do use Facebook. I meme all day, okay? I like Facebook. I know a lot of people are like, "Ooh, Facebook's for old people." Well, I'm old, so I like Facebook, okay? So anyway, all you have to do is take like a quick scroll down my Facebook to see that I am anti-MLM. It's very, very obvious. Like, it's not a secret. Like, a lot of my friends will literally hide their MLM shit from me because they all think I'm crazy. So that kind of bothered me. I'm like, anybody who would look at my... But the gist is, they don't think they're MLM, so of course they wouldn't look at it and be like, "Oh, she's anti-MLM, I shouldn't message her," because they're like, "We're not an MLM, we're a franchise." No, they're not. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry, I know I said I was going to let you guys make your own decision. You can still make your own decision with everything that I bring to the table, okay? So anyway, the mutual friend, I blocked her, I deleted the mutual friend. I'm like, I'm done with this Camp Gladiator business. I'm tired of them messaging me. I'm just gonna, like, I know none of them are interested in genuinely being my friend, so why waste my time? So anyway, she asked me if anybody else, So I just said, "Hi, blank. Thank you for your kind words. I'm aware of Camp Gladiator, as I have previously looked into it when I was offered a job." Yeah, I put that in parentheses. Or parentheses? Quotation marks. God bless. A few years ago, and I'm not interested in any business opportunities of this kind. All my focus is going into my online platform and the businesses that I do own. I've never met blank in person, but she added me as a Facebook friend to try to recruit me as well. This unfortunately seems to be a common practice, I guess. I wish you all the best with your business. I really don't, because I don't like people who try to make money off of other people. But whatever. I wish you all the best in your business, but I don't think any of my friends would be interested either. And then after that, I just blocked her because people are like, well, why don't you talk to her? Why don't you educate her? Blah, blah, blah. What I have found is like most people in MLMs, if they're hard, like deep in MLMs, they don't want to be educated. They can't at that period in time be educated because they're so brainwashed into thinking what they're doing is okay that they really kind of have to come to terms on their own. At least that's what I found. And so I just don't even entertain that. I am very selective with who I talk to, what I put my energy towards. And I know to a lot of people, I come off insensitive and kind of like an a-hole, but I'm like, no. I have to learn how to self-persevere. Is that how you say it? Self-preservation? Whatever. And that's kind of how I do it. I'm like, no, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for it. So instead, I was like, I'm just going to make this video because I literally did a quick search on YouTube to see if any videos have been made like this. And there's no videos, at least not that came up in search. So I was like, okay, this is important. People need to know this because that was a trend that I saw once I looked further down the rabbit hole, that there were people who were actually customers of Camp Gladiator that didn't realize that the personal trainers were in this type of business structure and that some of them weren't even getting paid. So, that's typical MLM stuff where you're like working for pennies or working for barely anything, and these companies expect you to work for free and then tell you that you could make $100,000. Do we see a theme here? Yeah. Oh, that's one of the things I wanted to read. So, sorry, I have notes off to the side. I'm going to try to stay on track, y'all, so that this doesn't get too all over the place. But just to give you a little background, that's what inspired me to make this whole video. That was the extent of my knowledge of Camp Gladiator, okay? That was my knowledge, and I was like, okay, that's like base level knowledge, yeah. So then I was like, okay, let me go on their website, because I haven't done this recently, and see what information I can find about them. Maybe they're straight up about what their business structure is like, right? So I found a few different things. I found an actual listing on Indeed for Camp Gladiator, and that listing on Indeed had kind of a very similar verbiage, or maybe it wasn't Indeed. Okay, so they had very similar verbiage to what you would see in like an MLM. Like the bottom of it says, impact as many people's God, I cannot speak today, y'all. Impact as many people's physical fitness and lives as possible while being in control of your business and earnings. Yeah, I understand that commission-based jobs, like in theory, you're in charge of your own earnings, but it would be one thing if Camp Gladiator's personal trainers were like Gold's Gym personal trainers, right? Where they had clients come in, you choose to sell them a package, you get a commission from that package, end of the day, we're done, right? Or like the Zumba example that I gave earlier, where this is very similar to Zumba, where you pay them a fee or whatever. As a Zumba instructor, you don't go out and try to find other Zumba instructors to sign up. It's like they took the traditional structure for making commission as a trainer and like melded it together with an MLM structure and then try to be like, we're not an MLM, we're a franchise. Okay, so this is, they say they're not an MLM, but if they are, if they were technically qualified as one, this would definitely qualify as a false income claim in my book. It says our most successful Camp Gladiator trainers are outgoing fitness professionals who are passionate, committed, loyal, visionary, and want to earn a potential $100,000 per year. There's no ceiling to what you can earn with Camp Gladiator, and some of our certified independent trainers earn well over $200,000 a year. See, that's the truth right there. Independent trainers, you mean independent contractors, which is what MLM distributor reps are, independent contractors. It's just like you'll see once we get further down the freaking rabbit hole, y'all. I know I've been saying that, but we're gonna get into it. I promise. Like, stick around. It's only gonna get better towards the end of this video. So next I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna read from their website what I actually found. And then at the end, I'm gonna give y'all the real tea, which is all the shit I found on Reddit and actual accounts from people that worked at their headquarters, from people that worked as Camp Gladiator trainers, etc. So like, it's coming, y'all, I promise. Like, stick around because it got wild as I was reading stuff. So anyway, this is like typical MLM speak, in my opinion. And I do understand that there is some kind of like parallels between MLM because it's sales and like traditional sales as far as like making commissions and stuff like that. But we know that there's a difference. We know that, you know, traditional sales, they're not trying to recruit other salespeople. You're just trying to sell the product that you're selling. And if that was the case, the anti-MLM movement wouldn't even exist. We wouldn't even be doing this. Okay, so like I said, then I decided to go on their website after seeing the Indeed stuff and whatever. And I was like, are they really calling themselves franchise owners? Like, I need to look and see what it actually says on their website. So then it says, by trainers for trainers. We're about creating a platform for you to do what you love while building your own business. All the workouts are outdoors, so you're teaching your own classes, you're doing your own marketing, you're doing all of this stuff outside, you're just using their name. And I'm like, if you're gonna do that, make up your own company, do your own marketing. Their name is not so big that it like gets you more people, in my opinion. And I love how this one says, more training, less financial straining. Camp Gladiator franchisees own their own business, not their own facilities. We've got the lowest cost fitness franchise. That's not true. I mean, I guess franchise, yes. But like I said, you can pay a lot less money than you do with Camp Gladiator and be like a Zumba instructor, many of the other programs that are out there, and it's not going to cost you thousands of dollars to do it. Isn't the point to make money? Not spend a crazy amount before you even start. Dude, I didn't even read this when I was looking on their website because I was just like skimming through. Like, this is my genuine reaction. I didn't read this. Let me read that again. Isn't the point to make money, not spend a crazy amount before you even start? They can't be fucking serious. And then turn around and be like, spend thousands of dollars to go to our unpaid training and pay us for the training and then pay us a franchise fee and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then, okay, so I tried to get as much information as I could for y'all. I was going to attend this virtual info session. It's like attend a virtual info session. So I entered all of this fake information with an email and I was fully committed to finding out this information for y'all. Yeah. So then I get an email and it's like, thanks for signing up for our info session. You have a Zoom meeting on this. I'm like, oh, hell no. Sorry. I love y'all. But I was not trying to sit in a Zoom meeting with a Camp Gladiator person trying to sell me this franchise. I'm like, no, that's where I draw the line. It's kind of shady to me, and this is very like similar to MLMs where they're like, I'm not gonna comment, PM me, message me. If they can't just tell you the information straight out on their website, to me that's shady. I don't like it. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not that desperate to figure out, to find out the info. And so I chose to dig deeper in another way. So one of the things that I did respect about Camp Gladiator is that they do require you to have a certified personal training certificate that's nationally accredited, whereas like Beachbody will just let anybody sign up and you don't have to be qualified. So if you're going to train people with Camp Gladiator, then you do have to pay for your own CPT. And again, if you're going to sign up and pay for your own personal training certificate, start your own business. They don't have anywhere, like they don't have a building for you. You're going to be teaching in like parks and church parking lots and things like that. Start your own. You could spend less money getting certified, which you're going to have to do anyway. You're going to have to pay for the certification, which mind you is hundreds to possibly thousands of dollars depending on which company you get certified through, if you want to add on any extra certificates. And if you're going to do that, you might as well do it with your own name, your own marketing, putting your own effort and your control of your own money. You set your own prices, you keep all the money that you make, and you're not having to funnel it up to this company. So that would be my advice if you're thinking of even doing this, because they don't have any kind of magical answer for you here. So I would not spend thousands of dollars on this if I were you. Anybody who's considering it, just take my advice, please. So anyway, I did respect that. I'm like, okay, well, at least they're not just sending anybody out there to train people. But then I thought about it, and I'm also just like, they said they had groups of like 500, 100 people at these camps, and I'm like, how is one trainer going to give personal attention to 50 people to make sure that their form is right, that they're doing things the right way, that they're, you can motivate 50 people, but I don't really think that you can safely and properly train 50 people. I mean, whatever, maybe you're a better trainer than me, I guess, but here's the steps. I did find this on their website. Step 1, franchisee application. You complete your interest form. Then they contact you. You sign a franchise disclosure document. I'd be interested to know what that is. Like, is it like I'm guessing it's probably like an agreement, but my guess is you probably aren't allowed to like tell all their secrets either, and there's maybe like that would be shitty if there's like a non-compete clause in there or something, so that if you decide to leave them and like try to go do your own thing, you couldn't bring the clients that you had when you were teaching there. I don't know. I know some gyms have that. Okay, step 2, applicant training. Complete the CG franchise applicant metrics. Attend CG's training conference academy. So you'll see later from some of the Reddit, I think this one person said that this training was like $800. So this is unpaid training, which is common. Like for instance, for me, I was applying for a job at Orange Theory. We did a whole week of unpaid training, literally every day from like 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. We were training, we were doing things. You have to learn how to teach their format, their classes, whatever. Unpaid training is kind of a normal thing, but not paying them. So not only would you have to pay them for the training, but then you got to like travel somewhere else, pay for a hotel room, pay for your travel, pay for your food and stuff while you're there. And then I think someone said this training's $800. I don't know. That's not on their website. That's just what I read on the interwebs. Again, there's like very vague information here. So that's always a red flag to me. Step 3, applicant approval. Past field work and sales auditions. Ew. If you know how to train people, are they really going to turn you away because you're not a good salesperson? I don't know. I don't like it. If all criteria is met, receive and sign the CG franchise agreement. Okay, so that's probably the agreement. So what's the disclosure? I wonder what the difference is between the disclosure and the agreement. Is the disclosure like, here's the information up front, and you're not allowed to tell people, or like, I don't know. When I think of a disclosure agreement, I think of like an NDA. That's what I'm trying to say. Like where you can't talk about things. I don't know. I don't know what NDA actually stands for. Keeping it real. Okay, so then this was the nitty gritty. This was on their website. I went to the FAQ and it says, how much does it cost to franchise with CG? While startup costs vary among CG owners, trainers, the total estimated initial investment to franchise with us ranges anywhere from $2,580 to $7,955. Save your freaking money and start it yourself. Don't waste your money. You could spend all that money and get a buttload of training from NASM and file your own LLC and stuff and be your own complete entity and keep all of your own damn money. The initial franchise fee for new franchisees consists of a one-time payment of $1,000 if paid in one lump sum, or if you do installments, it's $100 extra. Other costs include such fees as completing a background check. You have to pay for your own background check. And attending academy, which was like the $800 that I told you all about, in addition to various fees a franchisee may incur in purchasing the necessary technology devices to operate the dashboard. Oh, iPad, laptop, smartphone, so you have to provide your own equipment for people to sign in, I guess, with the dashboard and take payments and stuff. Or fitness equipment needed to run a camp. So you're paying for your own marketing, your own training, your own background check, your own equipment. Why are you paying them? What the fuck are you paying them for? To use their name and their workout routines? If you go through a CPT course, if you go through a course with NASM or ACE, you should learn how to program your own workouts. You don't need theirs. You don't need their name. I don't know why any trainer would be like, this is a great idea, except for the fact that they're over here like, you could potentially make $100,000. What does that sound like? What does that sound like? It sounds like an MLM that give these false promises of like, oh, you can make this much money and you can make all this money. And that's what draws people in, especially trainers, because I feel like we're extremely underpaid for the amount of knowledge that we have and like the ability that we have to help people, for sure. For sure underpaid. And maybe it's because a lot of people don't see it as a necessity. But for me, I'm like, if you're overweight and it's impeding on your health, I think it absolutely is a necessity, but whatever. I'm getting off on a tangent now. My point is like, I don't see how any trainer could look at this and be like, this is a good idea. I should spend my money on this. Most of us don't have a ton of money to be investing in stuff like this. You could invest this money into your own education, your own fitness business, and do much better. I'm sure of it, like for real. Now that all that has been said, I've been filming for 40 minutes now. Hopefully I can cut this down so it's not quite as long, but we're like about to get to the actual tea part. Okay. So I like started to dig. I was like, let me dig for the real tea, because I feel like I'm just scraping the surface. There's not a lot of information. I'm like, so let me find out the truth. And so this first quote story that I'm going to read, I believe is from Glassdoor. And this guy says, Camp Gladiator is a multi-level pyramid scheme disguised as a fitness company. And then he said the pros were, you learn a lot about sales. This organization promises it changes lives through fitness, yet going through their training program, you discover you learn mostly about manipulation and aggressive sales tactics. The real mission is to make as many people bold so they are under contract, making those on top money. The next step is to get your friends bold. Then trainers convince people to become trainers, making money from them and who they get to go bold, and so on. If you read the Yelp reviews, people complain about the contract consistently, yet the organization does nothing about it. They seem they make it seem like it is the customer's fault for signing the contract, never looking at how they push trainers to sell these contracts. It is one sales contest It is one sales contest after another. And leadership only cares about the bold numbers, pretending to care about people's health. They expect everyone to work insane hours and then act like this is a good thing because they attract people who work hard. If you work 7 days a week, it is like a badge of honor. The pay and benefits are terrible unless you are good at pyramid schemes. Like other MLMs, there is a cult-like obsession over the CEOs. People do I Love Camp Gladiator jumping jacks. The training seminars are much like other pyramid scheme organizations with a crazy amount of hype and over-promising of making six figures up to millions of dollars while changing people's lives. In parentheses, see Herbalife. They claim this is the best place to be a trainer, yet very little information about fitness is ever taught. If you read other reviews, you will see that the 5 stars say the exact same thing. It is hard work, but worth it because we change people's lives. This is all part of the cult-like behavior. If you value your time, life outside of work, and fitness, I suggest looking elsewhere. They only offer one style of boot camp that you teach. The rest is getting people bold. And then it says recommendations. Someone says, it's the same dude. It's recommendations. Watch the documentary. Jesus, I cannot speak, y'all. Watch the documentary Betting on Zero. Then reconsider how you do business. Okay. So I could see that. I'm just going to give you guys my opinion. You know my opinion. I'm making this video. I could see how it's like Herbalife. There's just no supplements. Like, their next step is to make supplements. I wouldn't be surprised if they choose to do that at some point. These are all out of order. Oh, here we go. I'll read the one from Indeed, and then we'll do all the Reddit ones, because, man, the Reddit ones are good. Okay, so then I have a review from Indeed. 2 stars. That's generous, in my opinion. MLM, toxic environment. 100% an MLM, in case you guys have any questions about that. Basically, a marketing sales job with a side of training. Unfortunately, that's a lot of personal training jobs, which is why I refuse to do those. You don't even have to be a decent trainer, and a lot of the trainers don't even work out themselves. If you are lucky and get a great director and a non-saturated area, that's MLM typical, you may be able to make a little bit of money, but a majority of your check gets taken away by headquarters every time they do a promotion or check-in challenge. Count on getting no money. Several times I didn't even make enough to pay rent. You're told it's your business, but it is definitely not. Look to spend around $2,000 plus in startup fees, travel, mandatory marketing kit, buying equipment, etc. You will not make your money back anytime soon after launching your camps. Absolutely no work-life balance. You're expected to live and breathe. Camp Gladiator, that sounds very MLM-ish. The amount of text messages you will get alone is overwhelming. Also sounds very also sounds very MLM-ish. The campers are great. So the campers are the customers that come and work out with the trainers. That in no way is an MLM structure. People just come, they pay. It's just like any other gym or class. They pay their fee and it is what it is. The trainers themselves are the ones that are in the MLM-like structure. Just to clarify. The campers are great. Oh, it says toxic environment, horrible compensation. The campers are great, but beware of the review system CG has in place. Campers can leave you horrible, nasty comments there, and it's completely anonymous. Also, I have concerns about the safety of the campers. There is no way one trainer can pay attention to the form of 50 people at once, which is exactly what I said earlier. Agree. The last few that I have for y'all are all from Reddit, and these are the juiciest ones in my opinion because it just tells us everything that we need to know. Okay. This Reddit says, exposing Camp Gladiator. Spoiler alert, it's an MLM. TLDR, CG is a predatory MLM. It's pay to play. Academy starter kit, equipment, t-shirts, and marketing materials, and you earn money from your downline, recruit other trainers, and earn money from their income. Former CG trainer here. I want to give y'all a rundown on the process of actually becoming a trainer with CG and why I believe Camp Gladiator is a predatory MLM. Before signing a contract with CG, step 1, assist with camp. You must co-train or audition at a current camp for a certain amount of time. The amount of time we'll have to do... Jesus, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not very good at reading out loud. The amount of time you will have to do this is at the discretion of the lead trainer, area director in that area. Pay for said time spent at these auditions. Oh, okay. Your pay for the said time spent at these auditions is also at the discretion of the area director. You have to help co-train people and you probably won't get paid for it. Step 2, make 10 sales. You have to make 10 sales for other trainers. What? I read these the other night, y'all, but I was like skimming over them just to see if they were like good. I didn't like, obviously I didn't like read and like comprehend. I just saw like make 10 sales. Okay. For other trainers. You don't even get money. Attend and pass academy. $150 plus lodging. Where did I get $800 from? Maybe that was somebody else's post. There's more posts. You pay $150 just to attend academy in Austin. This $150 does not include lodging, which you are also responsible for. Academy is a 3-day-long conference where they teach you all about Camp Gladiator, culminating with the final audition at the very end. This is where they tell you that your success or failure falls 100% on you. If you fail, it's because you just didn't work hard enough. Where have we heard that before? If you fail, you didn't work hard enough. And it's definitely not because you're at the bottom of the pyramid in your area. They will parade at the top of the pyramid throughout this conference, each one telling you, you too can earn a 6-figure salary with CG. You just have to work for it. Where have we heard that, y'all? Where have we heard that? We're not an MLM, we're a franchise. Okay. You will also be lightly trained in sales because this is a sales job, not a physical training job. Finally, you will have your final audition. You prepare a 5 to 10 minute workout and lead it in front of a group of area directors from outside of your region. Basically, unless you have the personality of a wet mop, you will pass. They pass nearly everybody. During onboarding, step 4, sign a contract with CG and buy a starter kit, $500 to $750. You sign an independent contractor agreement. And then even here in parentheses, they say red flags. Yeah, you're an independent contractor. You're not a franchise owner. And pay for your kit. You get a table cover of flags, some marketing materials, and a Nike Dry Fit trainer shirt. Depending on which kit you buy, you may also get a whiteboard tripod with additional marketing material and a water cooler cover. Step 5, buy additional equipment, greater than $399, varies by preference. At a minimum, you will need iPad, pens, clipboard, markers, duct tape, cones, speaker. Step 6, determine locations and times. It helps to have a halfway smart area director. I didn't have that luxury. Step 7, open your preview camps. This is a lot like a soft opening. You are training people for free. Life as a CG trainer, or how you get paid as a CG trainer. Option 1, you have to sign people up for your camps. There are 3 different contracts of varying lengths of time, ranging from $79 to $99 a month. You will keep between 60 to 65% of this money. I use the word keep loosely. You also have to pay for t-shirts, marketing, whatever other crap CG makes you pay for from the money you keep. Also sounds very similar to MLMs, right? You make money from the stuff that you sell, Jesus Christ. You make money from the stuff that you sell, but then they also require you to, most MLMs require you to order a certain personal volume amount each month, or they require you to keep some kind of inventory, or they require you to order something, right? Where you're spending your money, you're putting your money that you earned back into the company. Unfortunately, a camper could sign up with one trainer but end up coming to your camp exclusively. You will not get paid for this camper. I don't think so. Unless they ask to switch primary locations. As a trainer, you are not allowed to ask them to switch, so you are stuck training them for free. How much money is realistic in this scenario? Most area directors will claim that camps have between 20 to 25 campers. This number is something that you will build up to over time. To earn $3,000 per camp, 10 camps a year, you will get paid one time per camp. You have to have about 100 campers. I don't have the exact numbers, but I would estimate that most people have less campers than that. That means you are running 4 to 5 locations, working 60 hours a week or more to earn $30,000 a year if you are lucky. I'm glad this person did the math because I don't math, y'all. I don't math. I'm not very good at it. I can calculate calories, and that's about the extent of my math. I also calculate body fat through measurements because I did that in the military. That was one of my jobs. But anyway, yeah, $30,000 is like barely a livable wage. And it also depends on what area you live in. I guess Camp Gladiator is primarily in Texas and Florida from what I understand. So like, yeah, that's barely a livable wage. And that's like working 60 hours a week and busting your ass basically. No, like I said, you'd be better off starting your own freaking job or your own company and setting your own prices. So what's a trainer to do? How do you make that 6-figure salary? I think we all know where this is headed. You've got to get a downline. Yes, you will have to recruit other trainers and you will get a slice of their commission. And the person that recruited you, they get a slice of their commission as well. Isn't that swell? It sounds very pyramid-like in structure. Sounds like an MLM. Looks like an MLM. It's probably an MLM. And by no means do those in positions of power try to steal these new recruits, because that would go against the Christ-centered nature of this pure upstanding organization. I'm guessing that they're being facetious and that people do try to steal their new recruits. Yikes. You can also play the political game and try to move up the ranks. Area directors get their own downline. They get a cut of every trainer's income that fall under their jurisdiction. In addition, they are in a prime position to absorb any new recruits in their area, thereby receiving double income from their downlines. So there you have it. It's pay to play, and you earn money from your downline. Tell your friends and don't sign up. Customer service sucks, and you will never get out of your contract. Yikes. Okay, so this person says, I could not in good conscience recruit any other competent human being to do this. CG has gone way downhill with their standard of employee, and anyone with a pulse could be considered a trainer. A typical CG workout is only based on getting you tired and burning as many calories as possible. It's honestly the lowest form of fitness. Yikes. Any intelligent trainer in this industry can be more successful being employed elsewhere. I thought for a second I read that anywhere else. I was like, damn, that's savage. Same gist, I guess. Hell, one of their VPs was a teacher years ago and was arrested for having blank with one of her students. CG will employ anyone. Gross. So you're employing offenders. That's great. Okay, I wasn't prepared for that one. Like I told you, I just skimmed these. I didn't fully read these the other night. Copy and pasted from what I posted on Reddit Camp Gladiator. Trainers are expected to run and organize CG games, CG's annual competition without getting paid. They are expected to go to semi-annual conferences without getting paid. And while these meetings are optional, CG also says that it's also optional for them to renew your contract. Every marketing event that trainers run, it is unpaid. Do they come to your work to host a lunch or run a field day at your elementary school? All these are done at the trainer's expense. Money is taken directly from trainers' paychecks without their consent for whatever HQ deems necessary. All the points that you spend from your check-ins and referrals, the monetary value of the points you redeem are taken directly from the trainer's paycheck. Oh my God. So then, I'm guessing as a camper, you're earning, if the lighting's changing, sorry y'all, the sun's going down outside. So I guess as a camper, you must earn like points for checking in and like coming often. There must be like a reward program. And this person says when you do that, it comes out of the trainer's paycheck, not from the actual like company. Have you ever gotten a free shirt? Do you think HQ just eats the cost of that? Guess not. If someone's credit card is declined and they refuse payment, guess who pays for that? The trainer? Every time someone signs up for a free camp, it is not free for the trainer. They're literally paying for people. What? Every time someone signs up for a free camp, it is not free for the trainer. They are literally paying people for them to come to camp. Yikes. Have you been around for a total transformation yet? If a trainer does not make their sales quota, they get fined. So you want me to pay you monthly and then fine me for not meeting my... Yeah, work for yourself. This just solidifies, like, if you're a trainer, work for yourself, okay? They're not offering anything that you can't do yourself or training that you can't get anywhere else without strings attached. Gross. Okay, I got one more and then we're done. And then I will give you my final thoughts, okay? So this was another person that broke down, like, how it works to become a trainer, what kind of money you spend, because none of that is available on their website. So you kind of have to, like, either go to one of their stupid information seminars, experience it for yourself, or read it on Reddit, apparently. So this person says, to become a trainer, attend one of their seminars or camps, cost $200 upward dollars. Oh my gosh. The campers gather together on some larger sports fields. This one was in Dallas. This is the part I said, oh my gosh, too. There are marching bands, skydivers, and other distractions, and the obligatory speaker who rallies the campers. You know this guy. It's the cheap version of Tony Robbins. The whole hotel holds seminars, mostly, I'm sorry, y'all, mostly based on how to sell, and potential trainers wander the conference hall, picking and choosing which seminar to attend. If you have ever been to a similar event, you know, like Google or Microsoft, not saying CG is any way as sophisticated as Google or Microsoft, but hopefully you get the idea, you know what I mean. Once you get through your first trainer camp, they dangle the carrot in front of you and tell you that CG is ready for you. You work with a local trainer and eventually take over one or two of their camps. A percentage of what you make gets kicked back up to the person that introduced you to CG. Sounds like an MLM. That person kicks back up and so on and so forth. Classic MLM, thank you. At this point, you are not making any money. You're still training to be a trainer, remember? What? Really? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, this is where I got the $800 from. Then they hit you with another trainer camp. This one cost us $800. Off you go again to some location and repeat the process that he mentioned earlier, or she mentioned earlier. Only this time, They encourage you to buy some merch, cheaply made t-shirts, wristbands, and other crap, which you pay extra for. your $800, they do give you a flag, a tablecloth, in my opinion, $20 worth of shit, which you pay a lot more. For which you pay a lot more. CG tells you that you will need these items to encourage sales. If someone signs up, drop them a $1 tea and make them feel good. And of course, it's a classic marketing strategy. Get an extra item for signing up. But then, like, doesn't the trainer eat the cost of that? You will need to buy some other shit. So in order to run your camp, you need to buy some equipment. Okay, so we've heard this already. Cones, mats, weights, ropes, whiteboard, markers, iPad, the whole shebang. And then a semi-weekly... okay, so this is like the most MLM thing, okay? My ear keeps wanting to poke itself out. Stay in there. This is one of the most MLM things that I read this whole time. A semi-weekly conference call with the local team leader. But it's not an MLM. Oh, the leader begins with something like, I want to make money and travel the world, don't you? That's an actual quote. The leader goes on to talk about the benefits of working hard and making it. There's talk of making $100,000 a year. Then the call switches to tactics about bringing on new trainers because it grows the pyramid. They lay out a plan that describes how you, a trainer, need to reach out to every single person you know, Facebook, Instagram, and generally everybody else that you might meet, and sell them on becoming a trainer. Sounds like an MLM. We're a franchise. And I'm like, sounds like an MLM, but okay. Okay, they suggest you spend a minimum of 2 hours a week following up with potential leads. You don't get paid for this except if you sign someone up. Classic MLM. You're going to need at least one online tool. MailChimp costs $70 a year. Okay, so this is the nitty-gritty down. We're getting down to this last little bit. So then they say, like, well, okay, what does this all mean? Expect to outlay about $3,000 up front. You will have to get up at some ungodly hour and go train people, your car and gas money. You will be expected to come up with creative camps, themed camps on your own time. This will cost you extra. For example, Christmas theme, you will buy some Christmas items that play a part in the camp. You will also need to buy workout clothes for yourself unless you want to wash the few that you have constantly. You're a trainer. You as a trainer will not get fit from being a trainer at CG. You won't. All you do is tell others how to work out. Well, yeah, you gotta train on your own time. Conclusion, some of you might not think God bless. Conclusion, some of you might not think this is an MLM. I do. How do I know that? Well, because I'm the guy that paid... Oh, so this is the same part of this post. Okay. What I'm going to read next is the comments underneath his post. He said, how do I know that? Well, because I'm the guy that paid CG in excess of $3,000 and have not really seen any return. Yes, I know they don't dump product on you, but I really feel like it's somewhat the same. Once you're into it, God, I can't read. Once you're into it for a few grand, you really want to make your money back. Is that any difference from any other MLM? Has not happened so far. Some money has been recouped, but we have a really long way to go before we see a profit. If you plan on giving up your full-time job for CG, I would suggest you have a long road ahead. Just like every other MLM, it requires you to hit up your friends as well. If you're still here, tell me in the comments whether you think it's an MLM or a franchise. Okay, so then at the bottom of this dude's like, or someone comments and says, hey there, I used to work for CG headquarters, and I wanted to confirm that I truly believe it is an MLM, and would be happy to talk to your wife about it. I was on the inside for about a year. So this guy's wife, the one who said he threw out $3K, is the one who was the Camp Gladiator trainer. Then this guy says, and we see this a lot, this is very common in MLMs, that it messes up relationships, right? So then he says, hey there, thanks for reaching out to me. I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, my circumstances have changed drastically since my original post. My wife and I have separated and I'm seeking a divorce. While Camp Gladiator was not the cause, it was certainly a factor. She felt empowered by CG with the promise of lots of money. So like I said, not the primary cause, but I think her CG handler managed to sell her on some sort of brighter future with the CG get-rich scheme. This pushed her to leave. Thanks again for reaching out. I do genuinely appreciate it. So an update for anybody reading this post. I just got word from my soon-to-be ex. Over the last 3 months, she made less than $600. I don't know the exact figure, but that's not a lot. This is from 4 camps a week. She's working 4 times a week training groups of people, and she is making $600. So when you factor in the gas money, it's a real loser. Also, her CG friends seem to have convinced her that she doesn't need to file that income with the IRS. Surprise. Sounds like an MLM. And that person was so nice. They said, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope things get better for you. So those are all of the, not all, those were like the most interesting ones to me and like the most informative ones that I found on Reddit. But it kind of gives you like an inside look into what people have faced with Camp Gladiator, and like people who worked at their headquarters say they think it's an MLM. People who have been trainers think it's an MLM. People's husbands of people who have been trainers say that they think it's an MLM. So my final conclusion is, and this is what I said to my husband when this girl messaged me talking about a franchise. So here's just the point that I want to make, okay? So Taco Bell, right, is a franchise. You don't see a franchise owner from Taco Bell trying to recruit other people to open up a Taco Bell franchise around the corner from them. That would be stupid. That leads to oversaturation of the market. You then have to compete with a Taco Bell down the street, whereas before you could have just sold your own tacos and made plenty of money. I don't see other franchisees trying to sign up more franchises. And then like nothing to me on their website or whatever, like to me makes it sound like a franchise. Even when you sign up for a franchise, it's my understanding that you pay like a one-time franchise fee, and they offer you, like they give you all of the stuff that you need, any training that you need, whatever, it's all included. Like if you open up a Jimmy John's or something, you spend like 10, 15 grand, whatever it is. I'm sure I'm way off. I don't know. I've never looked at opening a franchise, but if I did, it would be a Jimmy John's or a Chick-fil-A. But, you spend that amount of money and that's it. Like, sure, the company at the top probably gets a cut of what you make. You're using their Taco Bell name and whatever, but it's not the same. Like I said, it's weird. It's like they took this idea and they like melted it together with an MLM, and they're like, we're going to call ourselves a franchise, not an MLM, because I feel like a lot of companies, and I've had people tell me the same thing. They're like, oh, my company's not an MLM, and it's very obvious their company is an MLM. And I feel like a lot of companies are trying to separate themselves from the term MLM because it is now getting a negative connotation, which it should, because they're predatory and a bad business model. It's not a good way for people to make money. So I feel like people are trying to separate themselves from that. Just because you say you're not an MLM does not mean you're not an MLM. And I've said this in my last MLM video, you can call yourself whatever you want. But when you are scamming people, you're taking people's money and you're making false promises about false income claims, it's predatory and it's not okay. And if you want to know my opinion, if you haven't figured it out already, I absolutely think Camp Gladiator is an MLM. I don't think it's a lucrative business opportunity for anybody who is a personal trainer or looking to be a personal trainer or a fitness instructor or anything. So if you want my advice is to run far, far away. Don't even give this the time of day. I'm sure I'm going to get some hate in the comments, especially since I seem to be the only person speaking out against this. From what I read on Reddit, though, there's a lot of pissed off trainers and they just don't want to say anything. And like people are finally starting to come out of the woodwork. And all I got to say is that what's done in the dark will come to the light. And if you're scamming people and you're making money off the backs of other people and you're doing shady things, it will all come out. And everybody will know eventually. And if it takes them experiencing it for themselves to find out, then fine. But if not, and I can sit here and give people the facts and keep people from joining something like this, then I will keep doing it.